Hello, welcome to my week 4 presentation, Foodborne Illnesses Outbreak Investigation. How do we identify the outbreak? What happened? There has been an outbreak of gastrointestinal illness that appears to be linked to a dinner event. I will construct a study to find which food was the most contaminated, possibly causing the outbreak. One, initial reports of multiple individuals experiencing gastrointestinal illnesses. Two, there was affected individuals who attended the same event and reported consuming various food items. Three, symptoms and timing suggested a food outbreak. And lastly, four, a detailed epidemiological investigation was launched to identify the source. Data collection and descriptive epidemiology. Identified and interviewed 75 candidates was the main objective of this study. Then collected information on food, consumption, studies, and illnesses onset was the next course of action. Next, develop an initial hypothesis based on food exposure trends. Right. So after reviewing the data, I seen along the way that it was hot dogs and carrot salad that had the highest numbers. So from there, I just started to focus my study through SS Studios to those two parts of the menu to see if that's where I could find more for the study. And lastly, focus on high risk foods with high attack rates, as I just mentioned. Statistical analysis and methods. One. So there's a couple tests that I use within the SS Studio. I will attach a PDF of the actual results. But for this presentation, I will be focusing on the results that influenced my hypothesis. One, chi-square test assessed whether each food item was significantly associated with illness. Next, Fisher exact test used for foods with expected counts in any cell less than 5. Attack rate calculation. This could have been done by hand, but I decided to find a way to do it through SS Studio, which you will see in the next couple of slides. Attack rate calculation determined the percentage of illnesses among those who ate versus those who did not eat each food. Statistical analysis and methods, page 2. Ratio and relative measures how much consumption each food, how much consuming each food increase illness risk. To the right, you will see a chi-square test that shows what is less than 5. Next, binary logistic regression. Identify the strongest predictors of illness. Right. Next slide. Findings and data visualization. This is a chart which shows the food items served, and the number of people who ate specific food versus the number of people who did not eat specific food. and the attack ratio. So we're going to focus more on this side to help our study. Strawberries number was high. Carrot salad was not as high as strawberries. And water was high as well. But the hot dog is like, right. If you ate the hot dog, you most likely experienced some symptoms there. Strawberries is pretty high too. But the carrot salad is not that significant. I hypothesized that at first, but I'm seeing this hot dog is where the attention should be for the study. Next slide. Results and key findings. Hot dogs had the highest attack rate, 85.71% among those who consumed them, compared to 20.39%, excuse me, 20.37% of those who did not. Chi-square test, less than 0.0001, and Fisher's exact test confirmed a strong association. Risk ratio, hot dog consumption increased illness risks significantly. Ratio was 0.043, less than 0.0001 predicted. Parexel was not significantly associated with illness. As we see, P is equal to 0.39. And lastly, regression analysis confirmed that the hot dogs were the primary cause of illness. Case closed. Lastly, conclusions and next steps. So we know it's hot dogs. Now what to do? The foodborne outbreak was traced back to hot dogs, which had a strong statistical association with illness. Strong measures investigate food handling and storage of hot dogs. Reinforce food safety protocols. Right, this is the FDA coming into play here. Future Food Drug Administration, right? I believe. FDA. Let's continue. Further future prevention, improve food safety monitoring, staff training, and outbreak response strategies. Because our job as epidemiologists is to see a problem, see the data, and figure out how can we prevent this from happening again. Adjust the policies, adjust the temperature of the hot dogs, adjust the amount of times they check the hot dog expiration dates. Okay. If the restaurant is 5 stars, it still needs to follow protocols. You never know. All right. Like I said, improve food safety monitoring, staff training, and outbreak response strategies. Lastly, next steps. Submit findings to public health authorities, FDA, and implement preventative measures to avoid future outbreaks. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And clearly, the culprit was hot dogs.